This is something that's a part of other sports. Since the rest of our school is an ACC school, we get to represent it in its entirety, and that feels really great.
To be able to step into this and have ACC be represented and to compete and feel like we're a part of that is huge for the athletes.
Now we get that opportunity to go out and represent the ACC conference and compete for that championship as well.
And also it kind of sets a tone and like a blueprint of what gymnastics could be.
We are building the foundation and the culture in every aspect and setting the standard of what we want for future years to come.
I think that the ACC, it just makes it on a higher level, bigger stakes, bigger everything.
I hope the feel for an ACC gymnastics meet will be hype energy.
I just think they're going to mean a little more. I think they're going to be a little more exciting, a lot more energy.
Women's gymnastics has just grown so fast the last few years, but what does this step mean to the sport?
It's unbelievable, and I love the invigorating newness of these teams joining the ACC, joining their other sports at their own schools in the ACC. Both these teams, all the teams have the chance to win the first ever ACC. I shouldn't say ever. They had one 40 years ago, the only ACC championships. So NC State has not won a conference title since 2018. They are hungry like wolves, and Clemson is on the prowl. So it's going to be really exciting.
I see what you did there, Kathy. Here's a look at the conference as it looks now. At the top, Clemson, NC State, North Carolina, Pitt, the inaugural members. But next year, and I know, Kathy, you're excited about this, Cal and Stanford join the conference. You know, the SEC has been known to be the best conference in women's gymnastics, but look out. Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear, because the ACC, they're going to be stout.
Oh, Cal is currently ranked #2 in the nation right now, right behind defending national champions Oklahoma. So look out, ACC.
Well, if you want to see the first ever, well, I guess the first in 40 years, conference championship in the ACC, it's going to be March 23rd in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's going to be on the ACC network, 7 Eastern time. You better get tickets. They go on sale Tuesday, and if you want tickets, you're going to have to beat the Clemson fans. They've been filling this arena, and they are going to be there. So get tickets early. It will be a fun competition. You don't want to miss it. Here we are. Speaking of fun competitions, we got a tie score. What more could you ask for here in Clemson? 49-05 for both of these teams. Coming up, NC State, they go to vault, and they're led by their anchor, Chloe Negretti. Meanwhile, Clemson goes to bars, and she can swing big. It's Caitlin de Guzman. Welcome back to Clemson. After one rotation, it is tied, just like we like it, Kathy. Molly Arnold led the way for Clemson on vault with that 9.85. A lot of gymnastics to go, but can't ask for more excitement than a tie competition after one rotation. NC State, they're going to be on the vault. We will see them first. Here's their lineup, led by Meg Adler. She is a sophomore from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. She'll be the first vaulter to go there. Meanwhile, the Clemson Tigers will move over to the uneven bars.
And Coach Kim Landra said she wanted her NC State gymnast to go big. She wants huge vaults, even if it means taking a step on the landing. It's most important at this point in the season to get the height, distance, and the bigness of the vault. Really well done. I like the technique. Very clean in the air. A hop on that landing.
Coach Landers did say before the competition when we talked to her, they have explosive vaults. Maybe not all 10-0 vaults, but that is one thing she really pushed, was that we can be explosive, and we need to be, as you mentioned, Kathy, tonight. Now, senior Rebecca Wells, she's also been battling a little bit of an illness, limited a little bit in today's competition, but well enough to get on the uneven bars and planning to do the balance beam as well. But such a critical spot to be in that leadoff position.
It's such an important part, especially when you've got the energy like their home crowd. You want to keep your focus, but use that energy. A little bit short on that first handstand. That's a blind change into a Tkachev. It's the same bar release move. Wow, went hard on that last handstand. Well done, right on top of the bar. And it's a full twisting double back dismount. Hop forward on the landing. Very solid routine and good start.
Rebecca Wells from Smyrna, Tennessee, and Let It Shine Gymnastics, just down the road from where I am in Knoxville, Tennessee. Great gymnastic club. Meg Adler, a 9.75 in the leadoff spot for NC State. Now Alexis Ortega.
So we've mentioned the start value. That is based on the level of difficulty. We're seeing mostly 10-0 start values and 9.95s here. Execution. That's how the vault is performed. The height, the distance, the straight body line, the shape in the air, and of course, the landing. Most of the deductions come on the landing. And they can range from a 0.05 for a tiny shuffle to a big hop. That's kind of in between hop.
What do you give us? What do you take on that one, Kathy? You be the judge. What are you taking?
At least a 1/10 of a point for that.
So 2 down for NC State on vault. Eve Jackson now, the redshirt junior. The next to go on the even bars. Rebecca Wells, a 9.775 in the leadoff spot. Again, tie competition after one rotation, and you just got the feeling it's going to be close right down to the wire.
She'll open with a blind change out of this giant. It's a half turn on the high bar. Goes into a straddle Jaeger. Oh, I love the height. Judges really want to see them complete that release skill above the level of the bar. She did that. Sets up for the dismount here. Full twisting double back. And holds on to the landing as long as they can bring those heels together before they hit that finished position, which now, for the first time, they have to hold that finished position. So she shows the handstand. Notice the sway in the back, though. She was a little bit over vertical, past vertical, and arched her back. But that release skill, very well done. Nice and high, and arms straight when she regressed.
Amy Smith has taught the fans well already here in Clemson to go for the 10. Put the 10 sign up. Here we go back to vault. Krista Zultovic now for NC State follows Alexis Ortega's 9.75.
Nice, big, beautiful full twist. You saw that she was talking to herself at the end of the runway.
So Monday, catch the premiere of a special all-access The ACC Life. In July last year, student athletes and administrators from all 15 ACC institutions traveled to Washington, D.C. on the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington to experience and learn more about racial and gender equity. Dallin Cuff hosts the special all-access 7 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Here we go with Lily Lepitt, third up for Clemson.
As I mentioned with the vaulter, you can see them talk to themselves. Ooh, big leg separation on the release skill down to the low bar. They talk to themselves. Those are the cues that you're giving yourself to trigger exactly what you want to do when things are moving this fast. You really have to narrow those cues down to a single word or maybe 2 or 3. So unfortunately, she'll have a deduction for the forearm in the middle of the routine with the leg separation and slightly beyond vertical on that full pirouette, but no deduction at all on the landing.
Ashley Knight now the freshman, the next vaulter to go. Krista Zultovic, a 9.775, so 3 scores in the 9.7s for NC State so far.
This is their 110-0 start value. It's a front pike with a half twist. That was beautiful. So elegant in the air. When you can combine the elegance and the power that this event requires, it's exciting to see. Her chest was a little bit low, as you can see from this angle. We're on the side, just like the judges are. And so they'll see that pike down and chest a little bit forward, but a lot of good things in that ball.
So transfer from Kentucky, Caitlin de Guzman, the senior, will be the next to go. She follows Lily Lippett's 9.825, so nice score for her. But I'll tell you what, this athlete right here, she can swing some uneven bars.
And I want to draw your attention to her toes. She has beautiful toe point. Unfortunately, she was short on that first cast, but look how she kept the legs straight and toes perfectly pointed throughout the most difficult skill in her routine. She's just a little bit rushed on those handstands. Nice double layout. Love the landing. I did see her legs separate a little on the double layout, but I'm also very distracted by nice straight legs, beautiful toe point. That is just exemplary in terms of the toe point. And see those legs go out to the side, and they're out far enough where the judges can even see that from their angle.
Looks like she gave a little point to her coach as she got off. Kind of like, you like that? And I bet he did. Now graduate student Emily Shepard, the only all-arounder for the Wolfpack tonight, 5th gymnast to go on vault.
That was, okay, that's called a balk. She did not touch the board or the table, so she can actually go back, gather her thoughts again with no deduction at all. She was off to the side on that step, and it threw her off. Good move to just run to the side, and as long as you don't go over the table, it's not considered a vault, and you get 3 attempts before you have to go over the table, or they will judge whatever it is you do.
That was very interesting. There's head coach Kim Landris in her 7th season at NC State. Kathy, have you ever done that before? I mean, that's not something you see too often.
No.
Have you ever experienced that?
No, I haven't. And I always feel for them because you really have to collect yourself, get back to those strong cues, run straight, of course. Well done. You know, that is not easy to do. I have to say, you can get rattled in that moment. And she was able to just pull it all together and really blast a big vault. She's a little bit off center, very close to that left line.
And I think what people need to understand is your steps have to be precise. This isn't the 100 meters where you can just run and go all out. It doesn't matter which foot crosses the line first. Every time you vault, you take the same amount of steps. Every step is almost exactly the same, so you can hit that board just right. And so you like to see her collect herself and get back together. Big moment for the Wolfpack. Now Lauren Rutherford on the uneven bars follows Caitlin de Guzman's 9.85.
Oh, a nice step into a release skill that's called a ray. It comes out of the toe on. Fail to handstand. A little bit rushed there in that handstand. I love her elegant swing. So streamlined. Very, very straight. Nice shape in the air. A scoot back on that landing.
Well done for the Tigers. That was their 5th gymnast. 1 gymnast yet to go for the Tigers. 1 left to go for NC State as well. That'll be Chloe Negretti in the anchor spot. And she's following Emily Shepard's 9.8.
So far, I think Kim Landris has to be really pleased with these vaults. I've enjoyed the airtime they've shown on these vaults.
I agree. They wanted to be explosive, and they have been. Just those stuck landings, maybe just that little bit, which comes throughout the season, right, Kathy?
Absolutely. The bounce off the table is called a block, and you really get that nice landing position when you can time your block just perfectly to get good height, the perfect amount of rotation, so then you can spot the landing right there with your eyes. She sees the ground coming, prepares to absorb the landing. Nicely done.
I think she heard me. I think she heard that because right on cue, and you mentioned it, she just pulled the cord on that and opened up and just textbook landing. Now Trinity Webb, the freshman from Smithville, Missouri, in Fusion Gymnastics.
And she just joined the team in January. She performed exhibition last week. This is called a Maloney. Beautifully done, right to the pack salto. Kept her form till right as she regressed the low bar and the legs separated a bit.
Chloe Negretti, a 9.875 in the anchor spot for the Wolfpack.
Giant swings into a nice high floaty double layout. Notice that she kept those legs together in flight on the dismount. Very important.
Great finish for Clemson.
So this release skill goes from low bar to high bar. It's called a Maloney. Kristen Maloney, who competed for Team USA at the Olympic Games and for UCLA, first did that skill, and that's why it's named after her.
Clemson's got to be happy. They will have the lead after this rotation. We'll find out by how much. When we come back, we're going to celebrate National Girls and Women in Sports when college gymnastics on the ACC Network returns.